The views of St. Augustine and St. Thomas Aquinas on the human person. Introduction: The medieval quest for understanding the human person. Understanding the human person, our nature, purpose, and destiny, has been a central question for philosophers, theologians, and thinkers throughout history. In the medieval world, two towering figures, St. Augustine of Hippo and St. Thomas Aquinas, offered profound insights into this question, blending ancient philosophy with Christian theology to create a rich tapestry of thought that continues to influence us today. St. Augustine, the soul's journey towards the divine. St. Augustine of Hippo, living in the 4th and 5th centuries, was a key figure in early Christian thought. His view of the human person reflects a deep synthesis of Platonic philosophy and Christian doctrine. Augustine agreed with Plato that humans possess a dual nature, body and soul, but he infused this idea with Christian beliefs, adding layers of meaning and purpose. The bifurcated nature of humanity. According to Augustine, humans exist in a state of tension between two aspects of their nature. The body, being part of the material world, is inherently imperfect and prone to sin. It is bound by the physical limitations of the world, subject to pain, suffering, and death. However, the soul, created by God, is capable of transcending these limitations. The soul yearns for communion with the divine, striving towards a state of spiritual bliss and eternal life with God. The role of virtue. Augustine emphasized that the ultimate goal of human life is to attain this communion with God. This requires living a life of virtue, which involves turning away from worldly temptations and focusing on spiritual growth. He believed that our earthly existence is a journey, a pilgrimage, towards our true home in heaven. The body may perish, but the soul, through virtuous living, can achieve eternal life. Example: imagine a person who, despite facing numerous hardships and temptations, remains steadfast in their faith and commitment to living a virtuous life. Augustine would see this person as embodying the soul's journey towards God, overcoming the imperfections of the body and the material world. St. Thomas Aquinas, a scholastic synthesis of faith and reason. St. Thomas Aquinas, a 13th century philosopher and theologian, is often considered one of the greatest minds of the medieval period. His work represents a monumental effort to reconcile Christian theology with the rediscovered works of Aristotle, a Greek philosopher whose ideas had a profound impact on Western thought. Matter and form. Aquinas adopted Aristotle's concept of hylomorphism, which posits that everything in the universe is composed of two principles, matter, hyl, and form, morphe. Matter refers to the physical substance that makes up the material world, while form is the essence that gives something its identity. For Aquinas, the human person is a union of matter, the body, and form, the soul. The soul as the form of the body. In this framework, the soul is not just a spiritual entity that inhabits the body, it is the very essence that animates and gives life to the body. The soul is what makes a human person a unique being, different from animals or inanimate objects. While the body is composed of the same material substances as other living organisms, the soul is what distinguishes humans as rational and moral beings. Example: consider the difference between a living human and a lifeless body. According to Aquinas, the soul is what makes the difference. It is not just a spirit that departs upon death, but the very principle that allows a person to think, move, and live. Without the soul, the body is merely matter, devoid of the form that gives it life and identity. Aristotle and human potential. Aristotle also believed that everything in the world has a purpose, or telos. For humans, this purpose is to achieve eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or happiness. Aquinas interpreted this in Christian terms, arguing that true happiness is found in the ultimate union with God. While Aristotle focused on achieving virtue through reason and moral excellence, Aquinas extended this to include divine grace, which perfects human nature and leads to eternal happiness with God. Conclusion: the legacy of Augustine and Aquinas. St. Augustine and St. Thomas Aquinas, through their profound reflections on the human person, shaped the course of Western thought for centuries. Augustine's emphasis on the soul's journey towards God and Aquinas' integration of Aristotelian philosophy with Christian theology offer us a rich understanding of what it means to be human. Their ideas remind us that the human person is not just a physical being but a spiritual one, with a destiny that transcends this world. In studying their works, we gain insight not only into the medieval mind but also into enduring questions about our own nature and purpose. Whether through Augustine's vision of the soul's ascent or Aquinas' rational exploration of matter and form, we are invited to reflect on the deeper meaning of our existence and our ultimate calling as human beings.